Here's an example of the type of spinning top I make. They're roughly 3 inches tall and about 3 inches in diameter. I usually start with little blocks of wood. These are about a 1/2 inch thick. And then I find the center, I draw a 3-inch circle, and I mark it. These I've marked with a permanent marker just so you see it on the camera better. And then the centers, I just use scrap wood. This is poplar, and you can see it's painted, but when I turn it, all the paint will be gone. I'm going to start by cutting out the circle. Using my Forstner bit, I'll drill a 1/2 inch hole in the center of each disc. I'm going to prepare my blanks for turning. I'm going to go ahead and make a pilot hole in the end of my blank. Then I'm going to go ahead and mount it between the centers. I have my blank mounted between centers. Got my face shield on, and I'm going to start turning at 1,000 RPMs. And I'm going to start with a 3/4 inch shallow gouge. So I'm just going to rough it till it's round. Looking at my sample spinning top, I'm going to make some marks to guide me. This end will be the pointed end. This is where the disc will be, roughly between those two marks, and the end will be over here. I need to turn this end down until it's about 1/2 inch in diameter. I'm going to start with my round nose, 1/2 inch round nose. Using my calipers, I'm going to burnish a small mark to tell me where 1/2 inch is. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this down to a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to use my parting tool to get me started on it. Using my 1/2 inch round nose, I'm going to give this the basic shape that I need for the handle. So, using my calipers, I'll measure the inside diameter of the hole I drilled. Lock it down. And yes, it's a little bit tight. So we'll turn it down a little bit more. And I'm going to taper it slightly. Okay, that should fit. Yeah, that'll be good. Need a little bit of glue. Okay, I'm going to apply a small amount of glue. And this is just yellow glue. The shaft. And the moisture in the glue is going to make the shaft swell a little bit. And apply a little bit of glue to this one. My blank has had time to dry. It's dried about an hour. I went ahead and remounted it. I'm going to turn it 1,000 RPMs and I'm going to chew it up with a 1/2 inch round nose. changed tool rests and repositioned it. I'm going to start working on the underside. Now I'm going to continue working on the top side of the disc. So on the disc, I like to make the outside rim heavier than the center. So that's why I hollow those down. The handle is still much heavier than it needs to be, so I'm going to go ahead and lighten it. So I'm just going to add a couple of grooves. And I'm ready to sand it. I'm going to go ahead and sand it offline, and then we'll part it off. I sanded my top with 150, 220, and 320 sandpaper. Now I'm ready to give it a coat of sanding sealer. Sanding sealer really works great. It dries quickly, brings out the colors, and it seals the grain, which means when I start applying my varnish, I can use a lot less varnish. And the varnish is more expensive than the sanding sealer, so it's a win-win situation. I'm going to let that set for about 30 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and sand it, and we'll give it 2 coats of polyurethane varnish. Here's my spinning top after the second coat, and it's dried about an hour. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that off with my razor saw, and I need to sand and finish up the tips, and I'll have to give them a quick coat of varnish. I'm going to go ahead and do that offline.